Good morning, Leo. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, bringing you your reading for the next 7 days. And I don't know if I have this camera up enough, but let's see. I'm gonna move it just a little bit more. All right, cool. I think it's still a little crooked, but all right, enough with that. Now, one thing that I do want to outline, Leo, is that there is something that you're gonna have to be courageous about. There's something that's it's gonna be necessary for you to remove certain negative energies from your vicinity, but in part, there is going to be a necessity for you to ground yourself. And not sure how you usually ground yourself, Leo, but it's something that you're gonna have to be courageous in. That's one of the things that I get. And I feel like you're gonna have to go off of the energy of abundance, because this rock right here is a granite rock. It's something that's the most abundant rock on the planet. And whenever I get this rock pop up, it's a rock that stands for just having an abundance mindset. And with the snowflake obsidian, I don't know if you guys could see this, but the snowflake obsidian is actually pretty cool. It kind of looks like a granite rock in a sense, but this stone is specifically a stone for being more pragmatic and being more grounded, but it's also a stone that removes negative energies from your vicinity too. So I feel like in order for you to be abundant and for you to be able to have that abundance mindset, there's going to be certain negative energies that you're going to have to repel, but also to remove from within. So let's go over the astrology. It shouldn't be difficult for you guys to say what needs to be said. At the moment, you have the North Node and Mars in conjunction to each other, and it's in sextile to any planets that are in your sign around 10 degrees. Well, I would say around 7 degrees to about 16 degrees. So it shouldn't be hard to spread that information. Now, I could feel like you guys maybe might have a little bit of tension between expressing who you really are. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. We'll go ahead and find out. I very much feel that right now there's a pretty easy way for you to come to awareness of various different things. And of course, I very much feel that when it comes to any energies of any energies of Neptune and Mercury, which is the thought process and, digging deep for answers, and, just digging deep within yourself. I very much feel that there's an inconsistent or incongruent method of trying to go about that. And I very much feel that you're just going to have to go ahead and express how you really feel. Express the anger. I don't know if there's any of you who don't necessarily understand where that anger is, or where that awareness can come from. But I very much feel that at this point in time, you're gonna have that opportunity to share it without various different people biting your head off for it, if that makes any sense. And of course, with Pluto and Saturn in opposition, well, Pluto is in Capricorn, but it's still in major opposition to any planets you might have in Cancer. You might not feel like there's an obsessive energy to trust people, but just work on yourself. I feel like this is very much, this definitely has to do with healing of the self by removing negative energies, but also by grounding oneself. So definitely has to do with emotional things. So pay attention to any of the energies that are sitting in the Pisces range, which are any thoughts that you might have that you aren't able to let go of, or paying attention to any of the areas of life where you feel like you don't have answers to, because if you dig deep enough, you'll find the answers. A lot of the times it has to do with ourselves and organization of ourselves. Right now, you might not be able to organize yourself, but try to bring that in balance with who you are and how you try to express yourself, and it should be a little easier moving forward into the future. This is all about the self, and this is all about bringing happiness into your life. I feel like the energy that needs to be abundant in terms of emotional energy is happiness. That happiness is going to help bring healing in a lot of different ways, regardless of whether you tend to run away from your feelings or tend to run away from different situations. There's a necessity to build that courage, and that in a sense will help to build stability within your life. And I very much feel like there's a necessary need to express the anger that you might be feeling right now, Leo. If people don't understand that anger that you're expressing, how are they going to know, right? I feel like what needs to be expressed is the anger and how that go against your values. And very much people are going to see the true character that you bring to the table, and they'll understand why you're angry, or they'll understand whatever it is that your anger is, Leo. This is very much an emotional issue that you're holding deep within you. But as you share it, you're gonna find that healing. Now, you might not be able to share it online right now, but there is a very, very big way in which positive things can happen when you do so. And it might be even just messaging somebody that you know online that doesn't really have like any stake in knowing what it is that you're doing or how life is going for you. But if you express, a little bit of the anger, frustration, and stuff like that you're feeling, I'm pretty sure they'll understand, and they might actually even help you to get past that. Yeah, definitely about fears, and I definitely feel like you guys are getting over those fears, so that's a very good thing. Those fears were unfounded, and I feel like a lot of what's going to cause that healing is getting rid of those fears, right? But it's a thought process, and it's a thought process that you have to engage in on a daily basis, right? It's something that's connected to your mind, and well, of course, with the horse in the reverse, it comes out to an air, the alchemical symbol for air, which is the upward triangle with the line through it. Very much mental, and of course, everything that's on the emotional is going to actually balance itself out when you balance out the mental aspects of it. Yeah. Okay, so take on the energy of a child. The maiden is basically, if you take a look at this card, she's happy. Now, what's going to help you in healing, and not only that, but in spreading that energy, is your thought process and how you bring that into stabilization, and how you're able to stabilize that energy within yourself. Very much a stabilizing energy within yourself card. In a sense, as you do that, what it's going to do is it's going to activate some of the higher chakras and connect you to your higher self, which I think is totally cool. Now, as unhappy as you might seem right now, this is one of the things that's necessary to take place. Use your creativity. I very much feel that if you use your creativity and you allow your creativity to shine through, then what ends up happening is that you're initiated into the universe, or you're initiated into a certain cycle of things that are necessary to happen in order for your happiness to take place. And one of the things that I like to point out is that as it connects to the energy of the collective reading, the energy of the fairies who was kissed by the pixies, it helps to activate that clairvoyant energy within you. But it's also one of those cards that helps you connect to the universe and beyond. And of course, when we think about energies of the universe and being initiated into, like, let's say, into the world of being a guru, or into the world of expressing who you really are, we look towards Leo to be able to express who they are, because you guys are inspirational. So if you guys can inspire us, that'll actually help to turn the energy of Solus around. And Solus is basically the same as the Sun card in the Rider-Waite Tarot. I feel like some of you guys are going to have a message of some sort come through. I very much feel that this message might be connected to finances. Perhaps some of you are still waiting on your second or third COVID relief checks. I very much feel that for those of you who are waiting for both of those, they're going to come at the same time. I feel like a lot of you have already gotten both your second and your third, so that message won't pertain to you guys. But for those of you, those of you guys who haven't yet, I very much feel that if you go ahead and, do whatever is necessary and not run from your responsibilities, you're going to get it. All right, so with this card, it's very necessary to be strategic. You have the 7 right here. And if you add in the 6 and the 1, that also comes out to a 7 from Gihyo. And I very much feel that you guys have been pretty strategic with understanding what it is that you fear and actually facing that fear in the face. Facing that fear in the face. Okay, so I very much feel that you guys have been looking at different things from a different perspective. Mostly connected to how you can how you can connect to your inner child. I very much feel this. So okay, inner child. So how many of you guys have been trying to connect to your inner child, or the idea of the inner child? The inner child just wants to do what it wants to do. It was meant to. It was meant for that purpose, to do what it needs to do in order to reach some type of emotional fulfillment. And I very much feel that if you tap into that inner child, or read into various different things about the inner child energy, you're gonna receive a download from the universe. That download is gonna actually help you to have your emotional cup runneth over, as they say, and it's actually going to give you hope, and it's gonna give you that necessary impetus to continue to move forward. Now, the Star card is one of those cards that it's asking you, okay, at this point in time, what is it that you're being a vessel of? Like, what are you pouring into the collective conscious, and what are you absorbing through your own energies, and what are you pouring into reality, and how is that factoring into whatever it is that you have in mind? Now, this person, if you pay attention to it, this person, or the person in this card, is naked, so they don't have anything to hide behind. They're a pure soul, basically. And what it's asking is, be a pure soul, right? Because this character right here is also naked as well. And so it's asking you to be a pure soul by tossing away any things that don't necessarily work for you anymore. The Hanged Man, when you view it in the right side up, is looking at things from a different perspective. I very much feel that you've been looking at it from a different perspective, and now you have the knowledge. Now you have the knowledge to move forward in that, with that regard. Okay, show more love, show more compassion. Make sure that whatever it is that you do engage in terms of, like, let's say, Gemini aspects, which is Mars energy and the North Node energy, it's a necessary need for you to be able to express yourself, or express this love and compassion that you can. Express this inspiration, right? Know who to trust, because that's a very important aspect. And of course, using the energy of Aries is all about expressing who you are and helping other people to come to a certain stage of awareness, or into higher states of awareness. Now, as I mentioned, Aquarius and the Saturn energy, you might not feel like this is a necessary thing that you have to do online, but I kind of feel like it is. I very much feel that for a lot of you guys are influencers, and you guys have the ability to inspire others. And so you're being called to the world stage to share your inspirational wisdom and your inspirational energy in order to amp other people up. You're being initiated into that role. And regardless of whether you feel like you can complete that role right now or not, it's necessary for you to jump in because it'll bring healing, it'll bring happiness to you. And this is exactly what you need right now, is happiness. The moon, follow your intuition, follow whatever your intuition tells you. Make sure that whatever this energy is that's in square between your planets in Leo and whatever planets you might have in Taurus as well, in conjunction to Uranus. There's a necessary need for you to be who you are, to be your own individual, to be unique, and to be true to yourself, right? Always treat yourself with love and respect. And what ends up happening is that as you get drawn to your South Node energies here within these 7 weeks, and I very much feel probably for the next month, leave those alone. Those should be left alone, literally. And so with the last die roll, let's see what comes up. 8. All right, so we talk about 8. We talk about Uranus, and especially we were talking about Uranus right now. Very much focus on what makes you unique. Very much focus on your value systems and what you have to bring to the table. Go ahead and analyze those things and make sure that as you implement them into your everyday life, and this is basically karma working in your favor, then what ends up happening is you bring happiness to yourself, which is what that 9 is. And what are you left over with? Big things that happen on a bigger scale than maybe you even imagined, Leo. So that inspiration and that being that inspiration to other people right now is what's going to initiate this whole plan to take place. So thank you, Leo, for tuning in. That comes to the end of your reading. If you resonated with this, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button because I want this video to be shown to a lot of different people, and I want a lot of different people to hear this message because I very much feel that it's not just healing energy for you guys, but it's also healing energy for the rest of us too. And with Leo, that character forces you to act in a way that is in accordance with the laws of nature, but also to benefit the most people for the highest good reason, overall. So with that, thank you, Leo, for being here for this reading. I will see you in 7 days in order to be able to do that next reading. And with that, this is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, signing out.